Building the Mishkan involved many different skills. Meant working in wood and metal. Things were complex. Some things were miraculous. They were impossible. And above all, we're talking about a Mishkan. Vasuli mikdash v'shachanti b'socham. A place where Hashem kivayochol. Hashem is going to dwell there. This is not mere carpentry. It's not just being goldsmiths. It's preparing things in a way that are worthy of housing Hashem's apparent presence. Building it involved so much kavana. Kavana, kedusha. You have to know exactly what you were trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, how you're going to bring the Shekhinah down. Of course, not just anyone was going to build it. These are people who had wisdom. We're not talking about artisans. We're talking about a different kind of wisdom. The wisdom of understanding the place of every element in this world and its connection to the upper spheres. So building the Mishkan involved so much understanding, so much strength of character. And above all, the Parsha is called Terumah, V'yichuli Terumah, which is the introduction. And that is what we call in the Divus, giving. With regard to the building of the menorah, the pasuk says, "Urei va'asei kasha tamoreh bahor." Look and do as you're being shown in the mountain. And Rashi brings down, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't quite understand what that menorah was going to look like. It was very elaborate, solid gold, not made of separate pieces, all had to be banged out of gold. Gold is a very soft metal. So much so that physically it couldn't be. The menorah in the square is not solid gold. It wouldn't stand otherwise. And we understand that that was not the only problem. We understand that the menorah, which is supposed to be distributing the shefa of Chachma, the wisdom that was emanating from the Oren, from the Luchas, the Ark in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, was distributed from the 7 branches of the menorah to bring Klal Yisrael and all of humanity, that wealth of knowledge from the divine. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't quite get it. What would that look like? Says Rashi, Hashem showed him a menorah of fire. Like every drasha of Chazal, we have to understand that when it talks about a menorah of fire, it doesn't just necessarily mean that it was a burning flame in the shape of a menorah. It means it was filled with passion. It was filled with warmth, filled with light. All the secrets. But you know something? It didn't work. It didn't help. Till finally, Hashem says, take a hammer and bang, and the menorah will happen. So the Sfas Emes asks an interesting question. If at the end of the day it couldn't be done anyway, if at the end of the day it had to be a miracle anyhow, why was Moshe Rabbeinu shown this menorah of fire? Given the directions, he doesn't understand it, it's going to be a miracle anyway. So tell him to take this big piece of gold and bang on it and it'll turn into a menorah. Why do we need this divine revelation of this menorah of fire? To show Moshe Rabbeinu what he can't understand anyhow. Says the Sfas Emes. We always need miracles. We always need help from heaven. If you've got real plans of becoming great, let's be honest. With all of our hard work, you still need a lot of miracles. You need a lot of siyata d'shmaya. We work on ourselves, we try. But ultimately, what it means to become great, the self-discipline involved, the insight. We definitely have to be enlightened by Hashem. We have to be strengthened by Hashem. Ultimately, it's filled with miracle. The only thing we can ever really take credit for is the choice. So how do you get that? Siyata d'shmaya, that help from heaven, the divine power. Says the Sfas Emes, you got to know precisely what you're aiming for. You got to know exactly what you want to be. Yeah, I want to be great. What does that look like? I want to be holy. What does that look like? What does it mean? I want a halo. What does it mean? Siyata d'shmaya is available if you know what you want. Not in general terms, in specific terms. With clarity. You have real clear goals. You have clarity as to what you want your life to look like. Then Hashem delivers. Everyone wants to be great, but they don't know what that looks like. They don't know what that means. What is it that you want to be able to do? What is it that you really desire? So Hashem first has to show Moshe Rabbeinu exactly what this menorah looks like. But it's still impossible? Good. Now that you know what you're looking for, Hashem will make it happen. Yeah, every element in the Mishkan. Every element in the Mishkan. Combined heaven and earth. It needed all the skills, the handwork, the engineering, and above all, everything else that had to put into it so that it would serve its purpose as a conduit for that which Hashem was blessing Klal Yisrael with. And that was massive. And beyond human ability, without open miracle, but clear plans were given. So Klal Yisrael knew exactly what they had to get done, what they had to strive for, and what they were asking the Siyata D'Shmaya for. Listen here, Jews have to be big. If you made it into the Beis Medrash, if you make it into a yeshiva, you got no whiff of the idea, a whiff of what it means for people making demands on themselves. People not just looking for what's comfortable and what's fun and how to make big bucks. People are here to grow. Every one of you has to be great. Hopefully, after spending time here, you will never be satisfied if you don't become great. You will never be satisfied with yourselves if you don't develop good self-discipline, if you don't learn to think things through in a big way, and of course, and if you don't share. I hope we've at least implanted into your conscience that you will not allow your own selves to live without living up to what you really could be. But how are you going to get there? I think the most important of all of what you can develop here is clear definitions of what your greatness is supposed to look like. Clear definitions in terms of character, in terms of strength of character, in terms of the desire to give. Get that. Paint for yourself a clear picture. Then you can stand before Hashem and ask for the miracles, and they will come. But not without the clarity. So be great, every one of you. You should all get those miracles. But know what you want. And Hashem will grant it.